2019, Pinocchio was released. Then 2021, Pinocchio, A True Story was released. And then this year, 2022, we have Disney's live-action remake of Pinocchio and the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio coming out. Remember the 2000s? There was the zombie craze. I think right now we're in kind of a puppet craze. I mean, after all, take a look at NAF. Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond, where it's the bullfrog and the one and only Newt.
Face reveal at 100,000 subscribers.
And for those of you who are passing by on the internet, 1, hello, and 2, what we are trying to achieve is who is Disney's most evil, black-hearted villain. But we're doing this not by opinion and not by a poll, but through a formula. And the formula has 2 halves. There's the mathematical side and the essay side. All right, you got that? Well, we can get right into it. Hope you enjoy. Now, let's talk design. And let's get this off the bat. He's a member of a green club. You see, I've noticed a big theme, and we're gonna hold to that theme. So whenever there's green on screen, pun intended, we dub them member of the green club. So Honest John, off the bat, member. And there's kind of a weird sense on how they draw on Honest John. He looks like a refined hobo. The way how he speaks, that soft speed and yet that elegance, with the fact that he's dressed, he has patches, he has holes, he has gloves where you can see his fingers, and that awesome top hat. I can never pull a top hat off. When I see someone who can pull it off, I have to say awesome. It's one of my isms. So if you can pull a top hat off, you're getting an awesome from me. He gets an awesome from me. The red, the blue, the green, and gray, that's kind of cool. And also, he's a walking, talking fox. Anthropomorphic foxes are around in media, but foxes in the style of this, where they're more interacting with humans, and they have, 5'10" height. It's kind of gone unnoticed. So, small shout out. This guy deserves some little break. And the actor who's the voice of Honest John, who is dubbed Walter Catlett. I'm probably saying your name wrong, but Walter Catlett. Kind of already talked about his voice, but I can't help it. That smooth, elegant, fast speed, where he feels like, I'm high class, and yet, look, I'm one of you. You and me, we're one of a kind. He has that feel with his voice. And I just love the design of this. The various colors that how often do we see green, blue, and red that's together? That's not Christmas. Not that much. It's I've always been a fan of the unusual. I'm a sucker for monsters. And this little monster, not that bad. We kind of remember him. We always remember the fox. We don't remember his name, but we all remember the fox, right, Newt?
Yep.
So, he is memorable. His song may be memorable, but that's singing. We're talking about design. And the design does help to stay in our memory. So, I give him a 2 out of 4. He's memorable, but stays in your memory, but not as well as most. We don't remember his name, even though it is Honest John. Okay, you saw the chapter heading. We're going into presents right now. And does Honest John have presents? Well, in order to judge presents, we start with intro. And his intro into the movie is casual. There's nothing bombastic or shouting, "Behold!" like so many things in the film. He's just casual walking around. It's like he's just there. This refined looking hobo. Not that much of an intro. And for presents, we go more than into intros, though intro is very astronomically important. And for that, we are going into a letter. And one thing you notice with presents from intro, it's the environment the villain builds around them. And Honest John, his environment and how he interacts is more the sense of, well, a car salesman. I got a deal for you, my friend. It's called a 1940s stage play, run by a guy named Stromboli. Just add in a few gold coins and boy, I'm gonna make you a star. You don't like that? Well, don't worry, because guess what? We have another game for you. And it involves a beautiful island far off where there's going to be no adults, no one to boss you around, and it's just going to be you and your friends. That's right, just you and your friends, and it's going to be free. And if you call right now, I'll get you on a coach and I'll sail you on a boat to this island that is completely secluded. And again, you could do anything and everything. There are no rules. Go and have fun. I'll see you later. To analyze presents, we go into the promise. And the promise of Honest John is what we saw in the environment of Honest John, what he brought. And the promise is he's a slick, smooth-talking car salesman that I really went into. Of course, I worked there, so. But the place I work doesn't sell you things like that. No, we just sell Tacomas, Hondas, Hyundais. But yet I'm not a salesman. Probably for good reasons. And he delivers on that promise. Whenever he's on screen, we realize, oh, that's the smooth-talking salesman. Is he gonna sell? He does. He sells Pinocchio, literally, to Stromboli. And he sells Pinocchio, again, somewhat literally, to the coachman. So he delivers his promise and what he is. But is Honest John the threat? What makes the presence stand out? But threat is, well, unique. Threat also goes into the acts of villainy. So we'll take 10% of the threat and put the rest into the acts of villainy. The threat of Honest John. What is the 10% that we can give into his presence? And that is, he has none. You look at this guy. Is he threatening? He's awesome to look at, and he's very well beautifully animated, let's be honest. But there's not that much of a threat. He doesn't feel like a threat. He feels like your brother, or feels like that good, smooth-talking salesman that still takes the show, and before you know it, you're buying that car. We also have to go into time. Time is not really for presents per se, but time is more for the free-for-all. And some of these things can be quite intriguing. And for that, we have to go to our handy-dandy notebook. Yeah, I cheated. Have nothing clever. And the time for Honest John is 10 minutes and 23 seconds, estimatedly on screen. So, actually not that bad, right? But that's for the free-for-all, where all the villains are in their grouping. This is not a tier list. We are wanting to find number one. So when the tier list is set up, we're going to send these guys through a battle royale, and their stats and numbers, along with acts of villainy, will help them climb or stay or fall. So I'll meet you halfway, John. You're a 2 out of 4. Does Honest John, does he have power? I say he does. Actually, more than that. And this is not by opinion. This is just by the plain facts. And the best way how to show off that Honest John has power is, well, his silver tongue. He is one smooth, used car salesman, baby. You want fame, riches, and fortune? He can convince Pinocchio. You want to feel you're on top of the world with no rules? He sold Pinocchio to Pleasure Island. And look at Pleasure Island. Look at how many boys are on Pleasure Island. Heck, look how many boys are on the cruise ship. And also on the coach. Yeah, we went in reverse order, but still. Every little boy is Honest John's responsibility. Okay, that sounded wrong. Ew. Okay. All right, let's just power through the power, okay? Honest John is responsible for all of them. That is his power. And it is deadly. Because all those kids, he delivered on a silver platter. And he gladly admitted. I mean, hey, Newt, pull the clip.
That shows you how low Honest John will stoop.
That's how low you'll go. You're one sick fool. Yuck. And that is quite the ability. But with power, Honest John shows us he can't. He's not literate. I mean, take a look. So he has his weakness and his great cruel strength. And it's also something unique. That the fact he admits he is low. He's willing to do anything.
Do we have to,
I think that should be another thing to his power. This is a man not blocked by morals. This is a man fox, that has no morals. That the only thing he fears is his security. Well, not really security, but more like the threat of the law. That's the only thing he fears. What do you mean, Bullfrog? He's scared for the boys, right? Pull that clip again, Newt.
but the law, suppose they... No.
Yeah, he's not worried. But he's not too powerful, though. But yet, he is responsible for so much. So we'll give him a 3 out of 4. Henchmen can make or break a villain. Now, does Gideon make or break Honest John? Well, for henchmen, they have a unique stance on how to make a good henchman. They need to be dependable, or they have to be dependent on you, or they have dependence. And the thing is, too much dependence, they can become forgettable. They can be unremarkable or remarkable. But having too much dependence can actually hinder a henchman. We want to see them when they're not around their hero. They're not hero. Around not their main lead. So we want to see them independent. Too much independence, that leads to rebellion. So we need to find this balancing act for henchmen. And Gideon, he proves to be quite the bumbling, fumbling fool. When they're trying to do the Stromboli campaign, Gideon proves to be more of the simpleton, oaf, and moron. But yet, he's not that much of a hindrance. Well, he is a hindrance. He's beating up Honest John and sending him into the wall. But he is not a hindrance to Honest John. Honest John still got Pinocchio. Point goes to Honest John and Gideon, amazingly. But what about the Coachman campaign? How they convinced Pinocchio there? Gideon is actually not that much of a hindrance. He still played for a joke, which is a quite fun joke. And yet, again, he doesn't foil. He doesn't distract or get in the way. Gideon is a better aid for Honest John recruiting Pinocchio to Pleasure Island. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. But when Honest John and the Coachman are together trying to wheel their deal, Gideon is there for the giggles. From smoked donuts he dunks in his beer. Man, cartoons are weird. He doesn't hinder or anything, but Honest John holds on to him as a security blanket for the fear of the law. Gideon hinders and attacks, but still, Honest John wins. Gideon is better aid. Gideon being a security blanket. 2 out of 3. Not bad. Not bad at all. But again, there's that abuse he delivers to Honest John. But at the same time, that security blanket helps Honest John. And he doesn't hinder Honest John. But again, that abuse, that hurt and pain. We'll meet you halfway. I know you could probably deserve more. You probably do deserve the 3. This is what dependence does to you. You're more dependable, but yet your dependence hinders you being an individual. You're very individual in design and how you act. But we want you to stand out a little bit more. So for Gideon, is a 2 out of 4.
Okay. Well, here it is.
And if you excuse me, I'm going to need some help. We're going to go to a dark place. And I mean nice security.
I feel like an angel baby swaddled in a cocoon of cloud candy.
Bullfrog, what are you talking about? It's Honest John from Pinocchio, the fox from Pinocchio. How dark he can go. He tries to push Pinocchio to Stromboli. Well, he doesn't push Pinocchio to Stromboli. He sells Pinocchio to Stromboli. He knows he'll make money. He'll knows he'll be great. And what does he say while he's in the pub with the coachman? Newt, show it.
That shows you how low Honest John will stoop.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He got that money from selling Pinocchio. And he enjoyed it. He laughs, he sings, he drinks. He enjoys it. Pinocchio, an innocent little boy, sold to Stromboli. Pinocchio, an innocent little boy. Honest John maneuvers him to go to Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island is darkest and the most famous scene from Pinocchio, the movie. The boy turning into a donkey. It probably caused a lot of nightmares for little kids. Remember how we talked with Power, all those little boys are Honest John's responsibility? That was an awful sentence to say. His acts of villainy. Each one of those lives he brought to Pleasure Island. Each one of those little souls to be sold to salt mines. And the potential to be bred. And if they speak, they're sold to a circus. Honest John did all of that. Honest John did more than that. Because Honest John is the devil. No, he literally is the devil. Pinocchio's shoulder devil. This is that guy with the pitchfork saying, hey, you don't want to do that. This is the guy saying, why go to school? Go. Be rich. Be a celebrity. Go ahead. Go do it. You know you want to. Hey, that coach, the boat, the island, no rules. Seems like a good place. Go do it. That's Honest John. That's what he is to the movie. He's that symbology of the devil on Pinocchio's shoulder. And you actually see it a bit more in what happens when Honest John has free reign over Pinocchio. When Honest John's convincing Pinocchio to go to Stromboli, Jiminy Cricket was close to Pinocchio. But you see, when Jiminy Cricket is going to Pinocchio because he's late, Honest John has Pinocchio already going, but then Jiminy Cricket tries to stop him. When Honest John is pulling Pinocchio to Pleasure Island, there was no Jiminy Cricket at all. No conscience. And a man had no conscience to begin with. Or fox man thing. Yeah, that. So he pushes Pinocchio to these dark ways. And Honest John is still doing that. Out there is that fox man going around looking for stupid little boys to send to Pleasure Island, where they all will be turned into donkeys. And no one's stopping him. He's out there. Without Honest John, there would be no Stromboli. Without Honest John, the coachman wouldn't have had so many stupid little boys. Without Honest John, Geppetto would have gone to the open sea looking for his son. Honest John created 3 villains. Who is the main villain in Pinocchio? It's not those 3. It's the 4th one. It is Honest John. The devil on your shoulder, creating each and every one of these vile things that scarred many little children. And diving into it has turned me into a legit fear freak. Oh, this is nuts. And you know what? While we're here in the acts of villainy, let's go into the villain's song, shall we? Hi, diddly dee. Remember how with the Age of Ultron, they did No Strings on Me and it changed how people saw that song for that brief moment? Hi, diddly dee is very iconic for way more reasons than one. It is actually the first Disney villain song in history. No villain sung before him. Everyone after him who sings is kind of indebted to him. He was the first. Give him this stamp, Newt. While we're here, the song Hi Diddly Dee is under this, well, the best way to describe it is the Song of the Silver-Tongued. This is the villain's song where the villain's convincing the hero either to A, come follow me, or in Honest John's case, hey, come and listen to my words to enjoy a better place. Bullcrap! Hi diddly dee is that? Hi diddly dee is that devil on your shoulder saying, we don't have the rights to the song. Well, Disney does, and I highly doubt we'll ever get that, so we won't be copyrighted. But pull up the lyrics. Hi diddly dee, an actor's life for me. A high silk hat and a silver cane, a watch of gold with a diamond chain. An actor's life is fun. You'll wear your head in a promenade, you'll ride around in a coach and four, you'll stop and buy a candy store. An actor's life for me. An actor's life is fun. With gold and diamond chains and a pearl around your neck, and I'm not rhyming anymore. But this is that villain singing. This is the devil on your shoulder singing, don't go to school. Why do you bother with it, you fool? Can you go around and see? Everything's light and beautiful. Why are we all just in a musical? Cause why? It is all pure villainous fun. This is not a good song. This is evil. Whispering in your ear, why follow? Heck! Newt, just pull it up. We're talking the devil's shoulder. Pull up Kronk!
That's it. She's going down now.
That's the weaker version. This is the foundation of it. This man is Fox, man. It's just disgusting and pure evil. Ugh. He gets the red. He's there. We just all know it. So, well, yeah, this is a dark place. And before we call this video off, take notice of this. There's no discussion of Honest John when it comes to Disney villains. No one talks about him. He created 3 villains. He is the one that did all of that to the little boys. Yeah, the coachman has the gun, speaking in metaphor. The coachman has the gun, and he's going to sell the remains to other people. He has the means. But who's the one gathering little boys and setting them in front of the barrel? Is Honest John. That creature is not discussed. Ain't that disgusting? He's going unmentioned when he's doing all of this. So hopefully this video will shine a little light on the dark evil that is Honest John. Well, until next time, it's the Bullfrog and the Newt signing out. Oh my gosh, this one was sickening.